Romans 8, verses 28 through 30. Let me read it. And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God. Incidentally, let me just pause there a moment. Isn't it interesting that this wonderful Romans 8:28, all things work together for good. It doesn't say together for good to all those who are saved. It doesn't say together for all of those who believe, but for those who love God. This is something that is an imperative. That's why I felt it's so important to present that sermon of Charles Spurgeon's this morning, that the first and great commandment is to love God. Do you love Him? Has there been that work of God? But then, to those who are called according to His purpose. And then it's going to go on in the next two verses and show what God's purpose is. For whom He foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. And whom He predestined, these He also called. And whom He called, these He also justified. And whom He justified, these He also glorified. Now, the reason I'm going back to this again in this connection is because it fits in with this. In Ephesians, the 4th chapter, it says we're to walk worthy of the calling with which we have been called. Notice where the call is here in Romans 8:28 through 30. It is in the middle. It has, on the one side of it, it has the foreknowledge of God and the predestination. And on the other side, it has justification and glorification. Now, the call, God's call to the child, God's call to a human being is God's entry into that person's life, God's applying to that person's life what He planned for that person back in eternity. If you've been called, and of course the evidence of your having been called is that you want the Lord Jesus. If you've been called, you've come to see yourself as a vile, hopeless sinner. You have absolutely nothing in yourself that you can rely upon. You just have got to repudiate everything of your own self, but you've come to see Jesus Christ. You've come to believe it, that He died on the cross for you, and you have absolutely no other hope than that. And you glory in the fact that He rose and that He lives. If you've got that, you've been called. But if you've been called, then God foreknew you before the world ever was.